Really? Oh, good for you.
Okay. I'd like to call the village board for the village of Ashwaubenon to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Allison Williams.
Present.
Trustee Paul.
Present.
Trustee Mark Williams.
Here.
Trustee Bukowski.
Here.
Trustee Melchesky.
Here.
President Kardowski.
Here.
And Trustee Zerbal is unavailable at this time.
Okay, please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And please remember all the men and women in uniform throughout the world. Okay, I have no changes to the agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I need action on the minutes from the regular board meeting of December 18th, 2018.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to accept those minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Any comments from the public must be limited to items not on the agenda. Any comments from the public? I'm
That's
looking.
you, basically.
There. Okay, there are no public here, so we have no comments. So, okay, on number 7, we have written communications, and I just wanted to say that I got a letter today from the Wisconsin Department of Safety and Professional Services. Our public safety department got they call it a 2% fire dues program, and it was, we figured as part of the budget, but it was a pretty sizable amount, and it said in here, I would like to commend Chief Eric Dunning, Commander Randy Tews, and the Fire Inspector Dan Peterson for their professionalism and courtesy extended to me through the audit. So we did a great job on that, and we're always proud of our public safety for doing that. So I would just like a motion to receive and place on file.
What, are we getting money or what?
We got, yeah, how much did we get, Chief? 87,000.
Some of that'll go to parks and other, no, oh, no, okay. All right.
I'll make a motion to approve and put it
Second.
on the file.
Motion by Mark, I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to receive and place on file. All those in favor say aye.
Aye, cheapskate.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay, so number 8, every year we give out a Community Excellence Award, and this year our award winner was St. John Lutheran Church for the 2018 Community Excellence Award. So Pat will read it, and very proud, very happy. Thank you.
Come on up.
Proclamation honoring St. John Lutheran Church 2018 Community Excellence Award. Whereas the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Ashwaubenon wishes to annually honor an organization or person who makes extraordinary efforts to improve our community, and whereas St. John Lutheran Church was formed June 23, 1873, and has continuously served Ashwaubenon for 145 years, often without recognition, and whereas as the Ashwaubenon community grew in population over the years, St. John Lutheran Church also experienced growth in their mission and outreach. And whereas St. John Lutheran Church expanded its ministry in September of 1992 by opening Early Footsteps Christian Preschool, which served children of both congregation and community for 19 years, and whereas the Stock Shelves Food Pantry at St. John Ministry served the local community for 15 years before achieving 501c3 status, and continues to receive food donations from St. John members, neighbors, businesses, school drives, food drives, fellow places of worship, and distributes said donations for those in need. And whereas in June of 2012, St. John Lutheran Church began serving Ashwaubenon residents as an election day polling location for wards 9 and 10. And now therefore be it resolved, with the deepest of appreciation of these efforts in community outreach, the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Ashwaubenon does hereby recognize and award St. John Lutheran Church the 2018 Community Excellence Award.
smart enough not to offer the pastor a mic. I'm gonna go home with my family. Y'all have a wonderful meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all of the ways that you're a blessing to this community. My family moved here in 2014, and we just absolutely love it. From the schools, public safety, everything this community offers, it is incredible. Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good luck.
Okay, number 9, action on the consent agenda, which is the operator's licenses, the change of agent, CEC Entertainment, Inc., DBA Chuck E. Cheese, department reports, and budgeted expenditures.
Just that one question. We doing good on, I don't look at all the numbers, Greg. Are we doing all right budget-wise? We don't? Okay. That's all I want to know.
Just start,
Okay?
make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 10, public hearings. 10A, public hearing regarding ordinance number 01-1-19, rezoning parcel VA-178-14 from SB Special Business to B3 Community Business. We can either have Aaron explain all of these now. This is a public hearing, but we don't have any public here to speak about this item. So we can go through the public hearing and have them explain it now, or have them explain it at the action item.
Whatever you want.
I would have them explain it at the action item since we don't have any public.
Move
Okay.
to close the hearing.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to close the public hearing for ordinance number 01-1-19. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 10B, public hearing regarding ordinance number 01-2-19, rezoning parcel VA-74-A from R2, 2-family residence to R1, 1-family residence, and rezoning a portion of parcel VA-74-1 from L1 light industry to R1, 1-family residence. No public is here. The hearing is open.
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 11A, action items. Action regarding ordinance number 01-1-19, rezoning parcel VA-178-14 from SB Special Business to B3 Community Business. Aaron?
The requested rezoning is to, as Mary mentioned, is to rezone parcel VA 178-14 from SB Special Business, which is a zoning classification that's really used for gas stations, car washes, vehicle restricted type uses, to B3 Community Business, consistent with the surrounding zoning classifications within the area. This is the site of the former Hardee's and Golden Shell gas station. The current owner is looking to rezone this for a mixture of commercial, retail, restaurant uses.
I don't want you to breach any confidences. I know you may have some, but I get a lot of questions about what's going in there. It's not a big deal, but I'm surprised at the number of people that are really anxious to see what's going to go in there. I know originally I heard Panda Express and Chick-fil-A, but now I haven't heard that for a while, so.
It's a very visible corner, certainly high traffic counts for the area. I don't have any actually insight into who it is at this time.
Okay.
I'm hoping to hear something soon.
Okay. Move to approve ordinance number 01-1-19.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second approving the ordinance 01-1-19. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 11B, action regarding ordinance number 01-2-19, rezoning parcel VA-74-A from R2, 2-family residence to R1, 1-family residence, and rezoning a portion of parcel VA-74-1 from I-1 light industry to R1 one-family residence. Aaron?
Okay. As Mary discussed there, the proposal is to rezone a portion of the former Riverview Lumber property on Broadway. It actually connects Broadway to Early Street. The proposal is to split the back half of the property, which is currently zoned I-1, to R1 one-family residence, to create two one-family lots on Early Street. The front area would remain I-1 light industry to facilitate the placement of a surveyor's office. So a land surveyor is interested in purchasing the property, doing this development, and locating his office in that building, which has been vacant for a number of years. There's a small portion, a small lot that's actually zoned R2 two-family residence, parcel VA-74-A, and that would actually go from R2 to R1 to facilitate the one-family residence.
Good use for their property.
All right, that came through this plan board meeting, and you're right, Ken, it is a nice use for it, so finally something's getting done there. I'll move to approve as requested. I lost the VA number.
01-2-19.
Okay, thank you.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 01-2-19. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
You know, we could shorten these meetings up a lot if we shorten the titles to these ordinances.
I'm not reading the whole thing. That's a pretty good thing. Okay, 11C, action regarding the WEDC Idle Sites Grant redevelopment plan for the former CTI site. Aaron?
The WEDC Idle Sites Grant redevelopment plan is, it's a requirement for the village to obtain a $234,000 grant from WEDC towards the redevelopment of the former CTI site for the stadium. This basically checks a box for WEDC to say there's a redevelopment plan on record, and with that in place, we have been allocated the $234,000 grant.
Thank you. That you did really a lot of work on that, Aaron. Thanks. You actually started on this grant, what, back in
Aaron, does that-
September?
Oh,
Yes.
Aaron, does that property have to be vacated for a period of time before you get those grants?
The idle site grant requires it to be vacant or underutilized for a period of 5 years.
Okay, thank you.
Move to approve the WEDC Idle Sites Grant redevelopment plan for the former CTI site.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the WEDC Idle Sites Grant redevelopment plan for the former CTI site. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 11D, action on resolution number R1-1-19, disallowance of claim, Mr. Christopher Hammond.
And what happened? Can somebody
Patrick.
explain briefly what happened here? These claims don't, you know, the denial doesn't really say what.
His vehicle went over,
Oh, yeah, it was a water main hole or a manhole cover or
Yeah.
something like
Yep.
that?
makes that claim.
What happened? Was it out of the circle?
It's a water main valve cover, which are a little bit smaller. It's not like a whole manhole cover, but frequently they either break, dislodge, the snowplow could go over it and dislodge it earlier. It's just kind of a random thing that happens frequently. I don't know, Doug, if you remember if there was some specific dramatic story. Usually they're pretty much the same.
You hear of it happen a handful of times every couple of years. Just as Allison said, sometimes you'll have it there. It sits inside of a casting. If, especially during the winter, if it gets cooler, those castings can move a little. The car goes over it, it can pop it upside down, and sometimes they'll pop out. Water utility usually gets a couple calls a year where somebody notices one out, go back and reset it.
Okay, thank you. What happened to his car? Do you know? Do we know specifics or no? Was it a tire or more than that?
$485.
185? 485.
I mean, why does the, I mean, I'm in the business of repairing cars, but this does not hit somebody's deductible, so it's going to be all out of pocket unless somebody else takes care of the claim for him. It's not his fault. So, I mean, not that I'm going to vote against this, but it's like, it's not any fault of the drivers themselves, and he's got to pay almost $500 for it and have his rates go up, and, you know, it just, I don't understand why they disallow these things.
Because equally, it's not necessarily our fault. Like, we don't have noticed that it's been a problem. If we did have noticed it was a problem and failed to correct it, then yes. But it has the same impact to us. If we accept all the claims and pay them, then our rates will go up as well. So it's in this case, it's his auto insurance, but in our case, it's against our liability insurance. So they're saying we failed to take appropriate action, inspection, maintenance against that. So they're all kind of in the same, I don't know, vat. And we get a lot of them. And then how do you start denying one and not the other, and consistency's sake, when you don't really necessarily have pinpointed liability in terms of improper maintenance or inspection of these things?
Have we ever allowed a claim? Or paid for a
Can't
claim?
think of, well, sometimes, like, if we, not that we have a lot of employees that get in accidents, but we have had employees get in accidents. So if they do, and there's something that has caused something, then yes, we have had to pay for it, and then the insurance company essentially works through that with the person and cuts them a check, and we cover our deductible, that portion. So that those you're just not necessarily seeing.
These are. I agree with Mark. These are tough. I understand what you're saying, that it's not really our fault. I mean, these things are out there. We need them. They have to be in the road. And sometimes they get flipped or whatever happens, as Doug explained. But I understand what you're saying, Mark. That's, you know, I can see a citizen being a bit.
Everything out of their pocket, you know, it doesn't
Right.
even touch their
I
deductible.
agree. I had the same conversation with Allison today, as I did last year when we had another claim.
I was going to say, we had a claim like that. We,
Yeah, and we denied
didn't,
it. That's what
that
our
we denied.
insurance company suggests, that we deny it, so.
I think there's only one that I can remember that we maybe paid for is on Ridge Road when we're doing construction, and it would dip way down or something like that, and on a temporary repair or something.
It happens. So we have, we've been fortunate, but Tony and I certainly have seen in Green Bay the volume of damage sometimes depends on the quality of the vehicle as well. Not insinuating anything about this gentleman's car, because I don't know anything about it, but I cannot tell you the number of pothole claims we have seen, and how many people their whole car can just completely kaput after going through a big pothole, and stuff just happens, unfortunately.
Yep.
All right, I'll move to approve the resolution denying the claim.
second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve resolution number R1-1-19, disallowance of claim. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 12, items for next agenda. I have none. If anybody has any, call the office. 13, closed session.
During the meeting, the village board of the Village of Ashwaubenon may convene into closed session pursuant to A, Wisconsin Statute Section 19.851C, for the purpose of possible discussion and action on considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of public safety and administration employee personnel matters over which the village board has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. B, Wisconsin Statute Section 19.851F, for the purpose of possible discussion and action on considering employee requests and financial, medical, social, or personal histories or disciplinary data of specific persons, preliminary consideration of specific personnel problems, or the investigation of charges against specific persons, except where Parens B applies which, if discussed in public, would be likely to have a substantial adverse effect upon the reputation of any person referred to in such histories or data or involved in such problems or investigations. C, Wisconsin Statute Section 19.851E, for the purpose of possible discussion and action on deliberating or negotiating the investing of public funds regarding the development of parcel VA 162 related to tax incremental district number 3, where competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. The village board may thereafter reconvene into open session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute Section 19.852 to report the results of the closed session and consider the balance of the agenda.
Move to go to closed session.
Second. Motion and a second to go into closed session. Voice vote, please.
Trustee Allison Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Paul.
Yes.
Trustee Mark Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Bukowski.
Yes.
Trustee Malcheski.
Yes.
President Kardasky.
Yes.
We are in closed session.
Everybody